here, get in here, get in here. Hello, 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 people. Happy, terrific Tuesday. I'm sure you guys are having a great evening. I know I am. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another segment of Women Around the Table Talk Show. I want to welcome you guys back on tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you for having me in front of the lens. Stay tuned. Don't you go nowhere. You sit right there today because I have a special treat. I wanted to mix some things up for you guys today, give you a different feel of the show and everything. And so I hope that you will stick around to see this type of treat that I want to feed the women around the table today and all my viewers. And so I'm going to introduce my guest. And I didn't introduce her on the last show that I had because it was a surprise. And so I'm one full of surprises. You'll get to know that. You'll get to learn me as we go on. But anyway, my special guest, she was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, believe it or not. And so she was born into a military family, and they frequently moved down here and to Dallas. And so during her high school years, her family had moved back or whatever. Anyway, she is an entrepreneur. She is a lochologist. For y'all who don't know what a lochologist is, that's a loctician. And she specializes in barber and natural hair styling. She's a prophetess. She's a psalmist. She's a poet. She's a writer, an educator, a mother, a sister, a friend. I want to introduce to you tonight, first of all, Miss Cinnamon Soul, aka Miss Vitrina Sterling. Come
Hey
on.
y'all, hey.
Hey girl, hey. How
Hey.
are you tonight?
I am doing well. It is a good day. It's a good evening. It has just been wonderful.
Good, good. So I just gave my audience this big, nice, bright introduction of yourself. And I know that I just didn't shed a light to everything. But before we get started, I forgot to tell you who I am. I'm Kiki White. I am your host. I am your host, your one and only Miss Kiki White for Women Around the Table Talk. And so tonight we're going to be doing things a little different. Of course, anything that I do, I got to give God the glory, got to give him all of praise because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this seat. So
Hallelujah.
anyway, we're going to dive right into it because we got a lot to cover. People, this young lady right here, Cinnamon Soul is her stage name. As I said before, she's a poet. She's been writing. I don't know. We're going to ask questions and how long she's been writing, but she is the author of two dynamic books. This one is called The Battle of Life, and it's original poetry, and it's narrative too. So this is all hers here. This is one of them. Hello, and then we also have a dash of cinnamon. I'm not sure if you guys could see that. Hopefully, my lighting is either way it go. We'll let y'all get some information on how to get these pieces. Miss Vitrina, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome.
Thank you. Like you said, I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Um, the oldest of three daughters, born into a military family. My family home is Dallas. My dad and my mom both graduated from school here. They lived here all their lives until my dad got in the military. So we've moved around a lot. But we do
Okay.
call Dallas home. As you said, I am a lochologist or a loctician.
I
um,
made it up.
you did, and girl, it was given.
Thank you.
But,
I know.
so I am a loctician, a natural hairstylist. That is my business. I also, during the day, am a software engineer for an aeronautics company. So that's what I do as my profession. But as she
Okay,
said, I
cool.
am a writer. I am a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. I'm a psalmist, a prophetess, all of these things. I wear all of these different hats. But More than
Wow.
anything, I love to write. I've been writing since I was in elementary school. My first
Wow.
published book was third grade.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
Do you remember the title, the name
I
of the book?
do.
What was
I
it
do.
called?
It was about a slumber party, and the name of the book was called Sue's Party.
Sue's
And
Party.
Sue's Party, and it my mom had made me a cover out of some poster board, and we bound it with tape and stapled it and everything, and we submitted it. And
That's all
my book
right.
actually received recognition, and it was at the time we lived in Virginia, and
Hmm.
it was a writing competition, and my book was actually published in a book of student work. So
Wow.
yeah.
That is awesome. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you're going to be the youngest author I'm probably going to have.
Probably so.
Because on this journey of writing books, because I'm still writing mine,
Hmm.
I just did not know that there were so many women
Hmm.
out here writing books.
Oh
And I
yeah.
mean bestsellers at that.
Oh
But
yeah.
the age of three, you
Third
telling
grade.
me third? Oh no, no. Okay, third grade. I remember the number three, girl. Excuse me.
Third grade,
But
no good.
okay, third grade. Okay,
Hmm.
third grade. Wow. And so that's when you pretty much found out that you was going to be a writer.
Yes, and that was when I found my love for writing.
Mhm.
Probably middle school was when I started writing poetry.
Mhm.
The first poem that I still have that I actually remember, the name of it was called Love Visions.
Oh,
And the poem is
love
actually about two people sitting on a park bench
this. Uh huh.
visualizing their future together.
Oh, come on, love bitch. I mean,
Yeah.
what you say? Come on. You
Mhm.
know what I want to do tonight? I want you to give us a piece from your book. Can I just pick anything and
Sure.
give us a little example? Cause
Absolutely.
at the table, girl, we talk about anything. We do anything at the table. Uh huh. And so
Let's
I
do it.
just we gonna do it. Okay, so I know y'all want this, cause I want it. Okay. Let me see. Let me sound my mouth to some. Okay, y'all gotta edit that out, cause I don't even know if that's protected. Okay, so it's a section in here called massacre.
Massacre. Okay.
Yeah, and it's in your the Battle of Life book.
Yes.
I want to see what you're working with,
Okay.
and I'm sure my audience do too. I know y'all do. Go on and comment. I know y'all do. I want to see what this is about. Okay.
Okay. So the name of this piece is called Massacre, and y'all just follow with me. Let me know what y'all think when we get done.
Okay.
Massacre. I have planned your murder in my head several times. I will stab you once for every tear that rolled down my cheek. Each chamber filled with every lie you ever told, with my sight on your temple, with each thrust piercing your flesh. I take back my power.
Mm.
As the warmth leaves your body, your heartbeat slows. Your body turning to ice, rigor mortis happily skipping around the corner. Death is knocking at your door, and I couldn't be happier. As long
Oh
as
my.
you have life in you, opportunity in you lives. But just as you took my innocence, I will take your last breath. And as I stand here staring at you, blood oozing from your wounds, I feel my freedom. No longer will I be your slave.
Mm.
Liberation, emancipation, and the realization that no matter how welcoming and familiar your embrace, your atmosphere is noxious venom dripping from your veins.
Oh.
Myths of a broken form, untruth sounding like honey. I couldn't get enough. Never again will you drag me into your darkness. Will you dim my light?
Oh my.
I will now and forever shine diamond brightly, orange
Mm.
red goddess phoenix taking to the sky.
Mhm.
Your
Mhm.
shackles falling from my angelic form. And
Yeah.
while I'm at it, why don't I continue my murderous spree? This day, you are cast back into the abyss with your siblings' self doubt, anxiety, loathing, and hatred trailing behind you. No more illusions of who you want me to be.
Mm.
On this day, depression, you die
Oh.
and take your poison with you.
Oh, wait a minute. Ain't this what they do?
Yes, ma'am.
Ain't this what they do? Ain't that what the
Yes,
boys do,
ma'am.
y'all? Did y'all hear that? OMG. Oh, wait, girl, where did this come from? Y'all, did
Okay.
y'all hear that? I'm following along. Where did this come from?
Okay, so in the battle of my life, basically it's a story about my struggle with major depressive disorder or depression.
Depression.
And
Okay, so
yes,
hold on, because you said on this day, depression, you die and take your poison with you. That's deep. The girl said, you die. She was talking to depression. That's the last thing she told. She commanded that thing. Oh, and take your poison with you. Oh, I love it. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I got a little wrapped up on that last one because you ended it because you know the way you ended it. And where did it come from? How did?
So, okay, so back in 2015, I
Mm-hmm.
was diagnosed as having major depressive disorder,
Mm-hmm.
and the the diagnosis came as a surprise, but not really, because I
Mm-hmm.
always knew there was something hovering over me, but I
Uh
didn't
oh.
know what that thing was.
Uh
You know,
oh.
I recognized it when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old,
Uh huh.
but I just didn't know that there was a name for it. You know, my mom, she knew something was off, and we just didn't know. And
Wow.
so this one particular day, I was just distraught. I was crying. There was just a lot going on, and I didn't know. And I come upon this test. It was like one of
Mm-hmm.
those online quizzes,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it was just saying like if you answer so many questions with a yes, then you probably need to seek
Yeah.
treatment. Girl, like
Yeah.
9 of the 10 questions, my answer was yes.
Oh, help, help. 9 out of 10.
9 of the 10.
Was the
And
first one your name? I mean, goodness.
no, ma'am. It it was
Talk
like
about it.
I
Let's
mean,
talk
it was
about it.
these questions were like, do you feel sense of hopelessness, but you don't know where this feeling is coming from? It was things like that. And
Wow.
I was so distraught. I immediately called a clinic that happened to be open overnight, and they
Uh
brought
huh.
me in, did the intake, and they were just like, yes, you're suffering from clinical depression is what they called it at that time. Now they call it multiple, I mean, uh, I can't think of it, but MDD,
MDD. Okay.
major depressive disorder. That's it. But
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
I started getting treatment, and the challenges continue to come. And in
Wow.
2020, I was fed up.
Mm.
I was fed up.
Oh,
I'm like,
2020.
in 2020, I was
So
fed
you
up
carrying this whole time.
this whole time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
of course, there were things that happened. I was in a marriage that failed. I was working different jobs that I couldn't complete. There was things in ministry that I wanted to do that I couldn't see through fruition because this depression had me stuck.
Right.
So I said in 2020, I'm not continuing with this thing.
Okay.
So I had my treatment plan adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And one particular night, I was just sitting thinking, and I'm like, okay, I know that this thing is a spirit.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Did y'all hear that, viewers? It's the spirit. The
I
thing
know
that
that
was
this is,
hovering over you all
yes,
this time.
all this
Uh-huh.
time.
Go ahead. Talk
It was a
about it. Okay.
spirit. And I said, you know what? I know that my God is bigger than anything that comes up to try to take me out. And because
Come
I
on.
know this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and operate the way that I know how to operate in the spirit. And I'm going to speak to that thing, and I'm going to tell it, you got to go.
Wow. Well, first of all, one of the viewers says, "Thank you for your transparency." So I know we're getting ready to go somewhere. So scoot your chairs up to this table, honey, because we're getting ready to go somewhere. Because I know it's a lot of people that deal with depression. Okay, and ever since I got in this seat, I've been telling my viewers and different people that come in, um, the thing about it, and it's amazing how I say it every show. There's always something that we bury within us somewhere. It's always something that has traumatized us within our childhood, right? And at some point or another in your life, you're gonna have to dig that thing back up if you really want to be free and actually make up your mind. Call it as for what it is. That thing that was buried, your depression that we buried, because everything that's buried is not dead. So we have to funeralize that. And how do we do that again, people? You got to call it out. You have to announce the death. You have to announce it. Agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
so
that's
you told
exactly
that thing
what I
it
did.
had to go. So there was a commandment that you put out
Absolutely.
for something that was
Absolutely.
against you, something that
It,
was going on with you.
because it was an assignment. It
Mm-hmm.
was an assignment on my to get me off of the path that God had for me to go. It was an assignment, an attack against me.
Mm.
And that thing latched itself onto me at an early age. Because see, the thing
Whoa.
about it is just like God appoints us and anoints us,
Mm-hmm.
the devil knows the assignment and he's going to do everything that he can to try to get you off that path. And if you knows where you going to stand in the spirit, the earlier he going to try to take you out.
Whoa.
I
So
was
it
a
ain't no
child.
age restriction.
Ain't no age
There's no
restriction.
age restriction. Uh huh.
Mm-mm. The
Uh
earlier
huh.
he's gonna try to take you out. That thing, I like I told you, I wrote my first book when I was in the third grade. That
So it
thing attached its,
recognized it.
it recognized the gift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That thing
Mm-hmm.
attached
Mm-hmm.
itself to me when I was about 12 years old.
Oh my world.
And I fought that thing throughout my teens, throughout my early 20s. And I was like, you know what? I done had enough of this.
I know that's right.
We not going through this. I didn't even know this thing had a name. I didn't even
Wow.
know it had a name until they diagnosed me. And when they did, I said, okay, this is the last day that I'm going to be known to be depressed like
In
this
2020. Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
2020. And I went and I actually got the treatment that I needed
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to say you have to use wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
There are people here that are knowledgeable about different things. And it's
Mm-hmm.
for us to go ahead and take advantage of those things. Like it says, the Bible tells us faith without works is dead. I
That's
had
right.
faith that God was going to heal me, but something
Mm.
had to happen in the natural in
Mm-hmm.
order for this thing to manifest in the spiritual.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Something had to
That was that
happen.
declaration. Mm-hmm.
That was the declaration. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I wrote this piece, it came from a place of self-realization. It came from a place of discovery because I knew that was the block. That was the
Mm-hmm.
roadblock. That was the thing that was in the way of me experiencing the path, the life that God
Mm-hmm.
had ordained for me.
Mm-hmm.
This gift
Mm-hmm.
in me was recognized at an early age.
Wow,
I've
man.
been writing all of this time, and through the writing, most of my pieces are love poems because I
Yeah.
love love. I do.
I love love too, girl. It's so beautiful. It's so oh.
Yes, yes.
She
And
love love, y'all.
I
She
love
love
love,
love.
y'all.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
But it's one of those things where you wonder sometimes where this gift comes from. People have
Yeah.
asked me, "Is it hard for you to write?" I'm like, no. I wrote a whole short story in 30 minutes. I sat there, and this was crazy because I was sitting in my bed in my room. It
Uh
was
huh.
quiet in the house.
Uh huh.
I took my phone and I just started clicking,
Uh huh.
clicking, click, click. 30 minutes later, I had a whole short story.
Oh wow. Oh, so you just going just with the text.
I
Okay.
did, just going
Uh
on
huh.
my phone, and the next thing I know, I went back and read it, made a few edits, but I was like, wow, I didn't even know I could do that.
Wow.
Usually, like when I write my pieces, like if I go to a show, sometimes what I'll do, depending on the
Uh
format,
huh.
I will ask the audience for a topic.
Oh oh. Okay.
I'll ask the audience for a topic and
Yeah.
I'll write it down. I've done this on open mics before
Uh huh.
and I'll be like, okay, so by the time I get up to do my piece, I would have written a whole piece based on the topic that they gave me.
Girl, shut up. Come on with your talented self. I wonder, can I do that? Can you give me a topic and I do what you do in this room on the table as we sip on the maple syrup? You heard me, y'all do. Is that what y'all do?
Yes,
I
honey, that is
love it because
it.
And the reason why, when I saw your pieces and I saw your book, and I knew you had a test. And the reason why I wanted to take a twist is because most people view people of God as priests, as ministers, as elders, as evangelists. But that's not all that we're come on, that's not all that we are. As people, we're down to earth.
Mhm.
We're poets. We like to sing. We like to groove, we like to groove a little bit, but we know where our help come from.
Absolutely.
We know who helps us discover who we are. You understand what I'm saying? And I love the fact that not only, you the writer in you, the mentor in you, the educationer in you. Did I just make that? I just made that
You
up.
did.
I
Bless
did.
you.
The educator that you are. I'm really, wow, you got a lot of stars behind your name as well. And I'm glad that you're here tonight. So let me stop. For those of you who have just tuned in, tonight we have Miss Vitrina Sterling. She goes by Miss Cinnamon Soul. Okay. Cinnamon Soul. She is a book writer and she's a poet. Right? Am I saying it right, girl?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay. I'm saying it right. She's the author and she's a poet speaker. And the girl is full of talent. I'm not going to let you sing, but I really did want to hear the piece that you brought out. Okay, don't sing. You can leave it to me. One day I'm
Please
gonna
do.
get a peep of my. One day I'm gonna get a peep of my voice. They're not gonna be ready. They're gonna
Oh
fall out
no,
the
they're not
chair.
ready.
They're not gonna be ready for it. But anyway, let me get back to you, girl, because this is all about you. And tonight we're talking the same language, but in a different accent tonight. Is that okay? All right,
I
viewers.
like it.
Yeah, girl. But what I love most about your story is that in the midst of depression, you made up in your mind, because some people think that they don't have the strength. They just deal with it. Oh, depression and anxiety is real. Oh, I suffer from depression. Do you hear that? That's
Hmm.
like you're welcoming it. I suffer from depression. You're actually welcoming this thing and claiming it into your life. What's wrong with you? I'm just depressed today. And then your atmosphere agrees and says, "Yes, you are. Yes, that is you." So it identifies with what you're saying. Who else you talking to?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like you
And
said,
that
it's a
thing,
spirit. It's a
it
spirit.
attaches itself to you. It
But
when
it but
you
but then it has to. But when you say it attaches itself to us, well, how did you recognize from the diagnose
Mhm.
from the diagnosis from the doctor? They diagnosed you with depression,
Mhm.
and you still went on throughout life.
Mhm.
Were you on medication?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. I was on medication and that helped me to get back to the stability of my mind
Okay.
because what they say it is a chemical imbalance.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say this. Sometimes spiritual things manifest in the natural,
Ooh.
and that was what that was. That chemical imbalance was evidence that that spirit was trying to attach itself to me. How did I become aware of this? The Holy Spirit.
Wow.
God,
But
the
then.
Holy Spirit had to show me everything. And when these things were revealed to me, as you and
Mhm.
I have discussed before, the
Yes,
speech has to change.
it has to change.
It has to
Agreed.
change.
It
And
has to
because
change.
I was doing that very same thing, I was saying my depression, my depression, my depression. I was
Uh huh.
claiming it. I was
Uh
saying it
huh.
belonged to me. I was
Uh
giving that spirit permission to be in my space.
huh.
And
Why?
when I came
Why
to the
would it leave?
realization, why would it? It was comfortable. It was at home. I made it
Yeah.
at home. Welcome,
Wow.
spirit. Come
Mm-hmm.
on, depression. I need you
Mm-hmm.
right here with me in my space. And
Wow.
and eventually it had gotten to the point to where it was so comfortable.
Uh huh.
that I
Wow.
did not know how to operate outside of depression.
Wow.
That's how deep that thing got. But grace be to God.
But grace be to God.
Because when I tell you, God is not only a healer, He will
Mm.
restore you, He will
Mm-hmm.
rebuild you, He will
Mm-hmm.
make you a new thing in the
Mm-hmm.
next season. And when I
Yes, he
tell you,
did.
even just in this last month,
Mm-hmm.
I went through something that had I not come into the knowledge of who I am in Christ, would have took me out.
Oh my.
It would have taken me out. But you know what?
What?
God is so faithful. And
Yes, he
God is
did.
so good. All I had to say was,
Mm-hmm.
Lord, okay, I can't deal with this. You take this
Mm-hmm.
from me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the strength to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, if I try to take it on by myself, what's going to happen? You
Mm-hmm.
know what's going to happen, Lord. And because I am your child and you know me inside and out, fix those things that are not right. Take those things from me that are going to put me in a place where I
Gotcha.
can't see you or feel you
Yeah.
or hear
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
Take those things from me.
Wow.
And when I tell you that thing happened on a Tuesday, by Friday, I was set free.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. It don't take
It don't take long.
long. It don't take long at all. It don't take long at all. You know what? I realized that, when I'm gonna share this with you. Um, I've watched a lot of my friends, and I think even a child of mine was in a state of depression. But and I think that when we're there, it's like it's for some of us, it's hard to come out of.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't. It kind of feel comfortable because you got the attention on you, and everybody's worried about you. And this is pretty much most of your day. You just slumped over,
Hmm.
and you're just dealing with it and then you're just watching everybody with their life pass yours by, and then people will they she get on my nerves with her happy self. He make me sick. Look at him looking like he looking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I know that that's some people's testimony sometimes, but to have somebody overcome depression, there is an answer tonight. There's an answer tonight, people.
Oh,
So if you know
yes.
anybody that suffers from depression, I'm gonna need you to get in here and share this video. People behind the lens, my audience, everybody that's at my table. There is help. There is hope. There is healing. And to see someone that has overcome depression, which I hear it all the time, even men. I watched a good friend of mine, and I mean, he had the wife, the children, in this big nice house, and then all of a sudden depression comes in, and he has nothing anymore. It's like, how did you let something that you cannot see just rob you of your life?
Hmm.
But he made it up in his mind and says, you know what it says? But it didn't rob me of my future. So
Right.
we have to make up in our mind what our future, what our tomorrow is going to look like. We have to make up in our mind that this cannot be a part of me no more. It cannot be a part of me no more. I'm so sorry. You have to
Hmm.
denounce it.
You
You
do.
have to not want it. If in
You
case
do.
you don't know what denounce mean, you have to put a declaration. You have to claim that you don't want to deal with it no more. And I know that you still wake up sometimes feeling the low energy.
You
But
do.
if you can get into a place where you can encourage yourself to remember somebody else's song, to remember somebody else's story, there is nobody on this earth that deals with depression all by themselves. They
Right.
diagnose it for a reason because there are other people that deal with it, but then there are other people that have come out of it too.
Hello.
And so those are the people that I have to bring in. Those are the people that I want to talk to because we need help or just hush
Hmm.
while I heal. Okay?
That's it.
That's my declaration. Hush, help me or hush while I heal. And so this show is for us to just bring the healing, to
Hmm.
bring the help. My women, depression comes in many forms, many, 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 many forms, but it's still the same action. It's still the same. It's just still the same diagnosis, and then you find yourself on medication. because it's
Mhm.
a chemical imbalance. And you can denounce a chemical imbalance by your words, by making up your mind. Is it
Oh
that
yeah.
easy?
It is that easy. It is that easy because you have to understand that our God is bigger than all of this.
That's true. And
And
he
he
is.
and with him being our father, why would he not want the best for his children?
Come
When you
on.
have a child in the natural, you don't want your child to be sick. You don't want your child to be dealing with all of this stuff. God, our Father, is the same. He made us that way, so why would He not be that way about us? My issue, my problem was that I put limits on God,
Oh, wow.
especially when it came to my health, because that was the thing. Health issues was the thing that kept me bound. Because
Wow.
I'm thinking, I know God can do all of these things, but it didn't connect for me that God can heal me for real.
Wow.
It didn't connect. But when I said I had enough, I had enough. And I will tell you that something that your dad actually told me.
Oh, what did
And
my
this
dad
thing,
say? Yeah,
girl,
let
it
me tell
blessed me. He did. He told me because I had shared with him that I was struggling.
you.
And he told me, he said, you know what? If the doctors prescribe you medication, take it until you don't need to take it anymore.
Okay.
When you get strong enough,
Okay.
then you're going to know what you need to do.
Okay.
But take it
Okay.
until you get to that place. And that helped me because I was so condemned about taking the medication because, we as a culture, we have so many issues with dealing with mental illness. And just now in recent years, are we starting to acknowledge that this is a real thing in the Black community?
It really
This is
is.
something that needs to be addressed, especially with our men,
Yes, indeed, girl.
especially with our men.
Because
And
we
that's
got to build them up too.
we do. But how you gonna build up somebody when you broke down?
Uh oh. Boom. Excuse me. You sure right.
How
I
you gonna
want
stay in
to.
your lane?
You say what, sis?
How you gonna stay in your lane when your
How
car
you gonna
doing all of
stay in
this?
your?
How you
Uh
gonna stay in
oh.
your
Go
lane?
cause an accident.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel you. Okay, so now, 2020 is gone.
Hmm.
2020 is gone. How does how do you recognize it when it try? Because some things try to come back in passing, but
Oh
that's just what
yeah.
they do.
Hmm.
That's just what they do. Because you can pass by me all you want to, but until I call your name,
Hmm.
then that's when you'll respond. But if I don't say nothing and don't acknowledge you, keep it
Keep on
moving.
moving.
So when it comes and you recognize it, does it come in the same way? Do you even acknowledge it?
You know what? It's funny that you say that because sometimes it'll switch up. But I'm gonna tell you, these minions, they
Uh
don't
oh.
have any new tactics. They use what they
What?
know. They don't have any new tactics.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
gonna try to come at you. And it may have on different clothes.
Uh
It
huh.
may be a whole different situation, but the tactics are the same. So how do I recognize when that is trying to attach itself to me again? I start getting tired.
Oh, okay. So we know
I
we
start
recognizing symptoms now. Uh huh.
recognizing symptoms. I start
Patterns.
being lackadaisical about everything.
Uh huh.
Just have a I don't care in my spirit. I don't want to be around people.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I don't want to.
that's
I
the
don't want
number
to go.
one.
I don't want to go nowhere. I don't. I want to stay in the house and be in my bed 24/7. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to
Wow.
deal with my children.
Uh huh.
I want to cocoon myself off by myself.
Okay.
But when that starts to happen, that's when I surround myself with people that know my struggle. That's when I read the word and reaffirm the things that God has told me about myself.
Yep. Yep. There it is.
That's when I pray and meditate and seek God on those things that are trying to bring me back. When God is saying, "No, daughter, you are to propel. You are to move forward." So that's how I recognize it. And with this last situation, you know, I would still have my moments. I would still, feel the things that I felt and want to cry and want to be in this place of pity. But I have to come back to me and be like, nah, girl, you good. You conquered
Now,
this
girl,
way.
that's right.
Yeah,
You know,
you
even the Bible
conquered it.
says for the spirit of heaviness, we supposed to put on a garment of praise. So here go some nuggets. Let me feed you because we still at the table. Come on. The we got a comment that just says your circle matters. And
Absolutely.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I do agree with that. Um, I know that. Here go the nugget piece right here. When you were saying that, no, I was saying
Hmm.
for the spirit of heaviness, we have to put on the garment of praise. And
Absolutely.
even and I could tell y'all this. And let me back up. Let me back up. Number one, when you were saying, there's a keynote that you were saying about our black community and
Hmm.
how these particular things are chemicals that play a major part in our bodies, and it comes from stuff that we eat and we don't even know it.
Absolutely.
So if we eating burgers
Absolutely.
and fries and drinking sodas all the time and eating meat and there's nothing green, nothing conducive to our health, that we're just putting in any, no supplements, no nothing that's bringing nutrients, of course you're gonna feel fatigue. Of course you're gonna feel weighed down with them cokes and them Dr. Peppers and everything. No discrimination, but then too it's true because
Right.
these are not healthy foods anyway. And then you're wondering why you don't have any energy.
Hmm.
We have to change our diet so that we can feel better and be a better version of us. Okay, along with the help of whatever medication that we may be taking, along with the help of talking to whoever we need to talk to, like the lady of the love of a woman said, our circle. Okay, who we
Hmm.
surrounding ourselves with. But here is the other one. The other one is, baby, if y'all don't utilize these radios and these YouTubes and whatever else, you need to turn on some music. Turn on that music and watch it give you some energy. Turn on
Hmm.
some worship. Turn on some. They don't have the Oasis like that. You remember the Oasis, girl?
Ah, no,
I
girl.
hate they took the
I
Oasis
got
out.
something for you. It's called lo-fi.
Lo-fi. How you
Lo-fi.
spell lo-fi?
L-O-F-I. Lo-fi.
Lo-Fi.
F-I.
Lo-fi. Okay, then there it is. Is that on? Is that an app? I mean, what is that? What is
You
the
can,
connection?
if you go on YouTube or if you
Uh
go
huh.
onto your music apps,
Uh
do a
huh.
search for lo-fi. It'll
Okay.
pull it up. When I tell you that stuff is so smooth,
Is it smooth,
it's
girl?
smooth.
I say it's smooth. Okay, smooth after it. Okay. Anyway, you know I got a song for everything. Y'all audience, I got a song for everything.
Yes,
But listen, I'm trying to feed the people while we at the table. Listen, because you got to set your atmosphere.
you do.
And I know, you sitting there sometimes and you eating or whatever, but I have noticed that when I put on some good music,
Hmm.
baby, I get some energy out of nowhere and I get the cleaning up stuff. I mean, I just get the straightening up stuff. And before I know it, my area, my atmosphere is
Yes.
so clean. And I maybe can light a candle. And then she get into them grooves. I told you I got song for everything. I think I'm feeling this whole poet thing, girl. I don't know.
Yes, honey. Yes.
They don't know. They don't know what they about to find out. But anyway, girl. And so, listen. And my atmosphere is feeling good, and I got everything vibing. And even with what it is that I want to eat, it put me in the mood to cook or get y'all change your atmosphere up and see if it works. And if it works, then I'm gonna need y'all to get in contact with me, the studio, Miss Cinema Soul. You can call. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just we got a few minutes. So if there is anybody out there that have any questions or you got any comments, you're welcome to say what you want to say and say it how you want to say it. But the number to the studio is 832. If somebody out there in my world at the table, can y'all go ahead and text this in here, 832-391-0157. Okay. All right. And call in to the studio if you want to talk to us, if you got any comments, if you got anything to say. Either you agree or disagree, or we can agree to agree. We ain't gonna disagree on none of them, girl. But anyway, we welcome you in with your questions and your comments by all means necessary. Again, the number is 832-391-0157. And you can keep that for your future references. Call a sister. Or how do we get in contact with you? Do you have an email address? Are there any upcoming events coming up?
Okay.
How do you got any more? How do we buy the books? Give us some
Okay. If
information.
if you are interested in getting in touch with me,
Hmm.
my social media platforms on Facebook, it's Vitrina Cinnamon Soul Sterling. Um,
Okay, you can spell that for them just
I
in case they
will.
can't see. They might not
So
have their glasses
Vitrina,
on.
Vitrina is V like victory, Atrina. Cinnamon Soul is Cynaminsoul. And my last name is Sterling. On Instagram and Clubhouse, if you're familiar with
Hold
Clubhouse.
on, hold on. Wait a minute. But we didn't even hear that last one. You said, and my last name is Sterling. I mean, can you give us a little? You said that too a little too. Come on, you said that a little too sexy for the people. I'm gonna need you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
We didn't
interject
even
this
hear
real
you.
quick. It is so funny because when I perform,
Yeah,
people are just like especially when I do Massacre, they are like, "That was so crazy. You
yeah.
have this little sweet, sensual voice talking about 187. It's so
Man,
crazy."
murder,
Yeah.
man, yeah, girl.
You,
But anyway, because you do have a soft voice, like
I do.
like
I do.
myself, I do have a soft voice. So go ahead and repeat that again, because you said Shirley, and I don't think the people heard you when your last name was something you said.
Sterling,
Okay,
Sterling.
okay, all right. And so we got an email in there,
The
and
email is going to be
huh.
cinnamon locks, CYNAMINLOCS
Okay,
at
okay,
gmail.com. And
at
on,
gmail.com.
yes, Instagram is Cinnamon
Okay.
Soul. And
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse, is Cinnamon Soul. We're going to talk about Clubhouse because that is an amazing platform. But yeah, so
What
Instagram
is
and
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is an app where like-minded people can meet in rooms and have
Oh,
discussions about whatever they want to discuss.
oh, someone like me.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Except they not in front of the camera. They just amongst
No,
each other. Oh no, it's an
they're
app. It's an app.
it's
It's
an
an app.
app.
It's
It's
an
an
app.
app.
Okay,
And so I
okay.
think they do have where I don't know if they've upgraded the app where you can actually do video. It's mostly just voice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's them. This us. Boom. Okay. So anyway, thank you for this contact information, Miss Cinema Soul. So now the final question: how is life treating you after 2020? What? What? Come on. I know there's
When
testimony because you're looking
oh
good.
yeah. Thank you. Thank
Are you
you.
single, girl? You single?
Girl, we single both for her.
Boo! She's single. Hello, man. Mm.
So, but but when I tell you when you walk with God and faith,
Uh-huh.
when you walk with God and faith, and you know, people say that God will give you the desires of your heart, and
That's
that is
right.
a true statement. But people
Uh-huh.
need to understand and realize that He's going to give you the desires of your heart when your desires line up with His.
Uh-oh. Crunch.
And so what happened was I changed my outlook and I
Okay.
started aligning my desires with his.
Okay.
So
Wow.
after divorce, he restored my heart. He
Oh,
restored my faith in people.
yes.
After being down, it
Mm-hmm.
financially, God has blessed and blessed and blessed some more. Moved
Oh,
from a
wait.
two-bedroom, one-bath apartment with two grown kids and a baby
Two grown kids and a
to
baby in a two-bedroom
they were
apartment with one bathroom.
one bathroom, two
Oh, my
bedroom, one
God.
bathroom, to
Okay.
a four-bedroom house, two baths,
Come on. Come
from
on.
a $10 an hour job to salary.
Oh, my goodness.
to increase of from having 2 to 3 clients to increase of an influx of clients and not being able to schedule them all.
What you mean? Come on. You know
For
what? The
giving me
blessings of
words
the Lord are rich and added no sorrow. Do you hear me?
addeth no sorrow. And
That's
knowing the end result.
restoration. All
Restoration
from
beyond all from a
a
quality,
declaration.
a declaration.
Restoration from a declaration.
That'll
Cause you
preach.
know what? Cause you said, hold on. Cause you said, and depression. Hold on, I'm getting the book. Hold on. I love you. Hold on. You say
Depression, you die
that's it.
and take your poison with you.
Girl, that's something they should say in a movie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, because that's powerful. That is so
It is.
powerful. That is powerful, and I love it. And take your poison with you. That's something that somebody out there need to say to your now situation.
Hmm.
You need to tell it to die tonight. You need to tell it to take your poison with you. And however you came, you need to return that in which from where you came from. Because you're not welcome here. Those are
See?
declarations that we have to make over our life, especially if it's going to put me in a position to where I can have more.
Oh,
Because if
yes.
I stay in a state of depression, just think about if you would have just stayed there. Then you would have actually just stayed in your 2 bedroom apartment with your
Without
little
a
one
job.
bedroom house. Wow.
Without a job. Without a job.
Because you can't be a people person. You can't even give yourself.
Because I'm telling you, in the midst of that, I had to walk off of a job.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I had
Oh
to walk
wow.
off that because I could not function in my
That's
mind. I couldn't
that's
function in my mind.
that's
So, yes,
poison.
I sat up in my bed for 2 months, unemployed, trying to figure out how I'm going to feed my kids.
I've been yeah.
But by the grace of God,
Come on, Grace.
by the grace of God, His, ooh, mm,
Just turn the fan
His,
on, girl. Because
His
his goodness
mercies, His,
is everlasting. They're new every
yeah,
morning.
yeah.
They are new every morning, people. They are new every morning. I
Oh,
love where we are at this time. I love where we are at particular time because we're able to see a person, an individual that suffered from depression and had natural causes to happen. No job, living in a place where you're not satisfied, not being yourself because you don't know yourself until you learn yourself.
yes,
And
yes.
when you come into the knowledge that certain things just don't mix right, certain things just don't taste good, certain things just, it ain't doing what it's supposed to do, it's time to make some changes, people.
Hmm.
It's time to make some changes. And you know what? I did the very same thing when I lost everything. I lost everything at one point in my life. I was in a transition and I lost everything and I'm on my way and I'm transitioning to move to another city. And oh my gosh, depression could have, matter of fact, it did. It knocked at my door. And I lost everything that I owned. I mean, from the tissue, from the shoes to the bedspread to the ironing board, you name it. It was in a U-Haul truck. It was in a Penske truck. It was a moving truck. And my mover didn't even get to make it to the destination. There was an instant fatality that happened. He was carrying my stuff. I lost everything that I had except some clothes that was in my car for me and
Wow.
my children. Waiting all night for this man to show up with my stuff. He never came. So that knock didn't come on the door with my stuff, but depression tried to show up at my door because I couldn't comprehend how could a person lose their life trying to help me. How am I going to go, and I'm down here for a job, I'm down here trying to better myself, and in the midst of me bettering myself I got knocked to the core of the ground. I was in the earth.
Hmm.
Do you understand? And you would look at me and think that no, not Kiki, not Kiki. Yeah, Kiki got knocked. I watched my kids lay on a throw. That's all we had. And when I tell you nobody helped me, nobody but God. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody.
And let me say
Nobody.
this. Let me say this. Sometimes God will isolate us because he wants it to just be you and him.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I went through that season. I
Yeah.
went through that season where all of my help was gone.
Mm,
And
mm,
God
mm.
said, if I teach you nothing else, you will learn how to trust me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree with that because in the midst of all of that I had went through, it took about, I think it was about the same time frame you had. It was about 3 days.
Hmm.
And I said, you know what? Mm-mm. As my name be Kiki. Baby, I know. I know my background. Okay, and I know the kind of God I serve. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
stay here. I said, "Now I don't know what you are, where you came from. You can't stay here." And then I began to see God move through strangers. I
Yes.
mean, this lady, hi, how are you? I'm going to go get a loan.
Hmm.
I don't know what I was finna get ready to buy. But well, what brings you in today? I don't know what made me tell her my little story. She said, well, I just bought some new furniture, and then the furniture that I did buy, my mom never did get to use, and you're welcome to come get it if you want it. It's practically new.
Hmm.
I was like, wow. And I'm talking thousands of dollars were being put in my hand. I was working at a hotel. People, just strangers coming in off the street, truck drivers just I'm got my head down trying to, open the computer to see how to apply this money to their room. They on the way out the door. I said, sir, madam, you gave me this money. Hey, the Lord told me to do that for you, ma'am. And I'm like sitting there in awe.
Hmm.
And I began to see because I made up my mind not to live in a certain box or in a certain atmosphere and in a certain arena that the enemy wanted me to because of these dark, because of my circumstance. We can't change our situation by our mouth. We just have to believe in the things that we're saying. We have to believe in the things that we're saying. And we have to know that there's power in our words,
Hmm.
power in our words. And you are the perfect example. You can take your poison with you.
Yes, yes,
I'm going to,
yes.
oh, that's going to go so far. Do you understand?
Hmm.
That's going to go so, so very far. And to see the person that we are today,
Yeah.
all glory goes back to God. But the fact that when I was there, I didn't think I could get out of it.
Oh no.
I just didn't see no way because it was so dark. I just didn't see a way. But when I made up my mind, when
Hmm.
my mind began to see, my eyes began to speak,
Oh yeah.
those situations started to turn for me. And so, like yourself, you don't look like what you've been through. So
Oh
I
no.
have a word for a people that have joined me today and that will in the future. You
Hmm.
don't have to be in the state that you're in. Most of us try to go through a stage of emotional recovery, and most women, we're pretty much emotional creatures.
Hmm.
And I don't blame God. I don't, because our feelings, girl, we be all over the place. One day
Oh
we're
yes.
crying, one day we're joyous and we're happy, and then the next day we crying again, girl. You
And
know,
then we joyous and happy and crying.
ridiculous. And
Hmm.
then we affecting our men. The man can't even love on us the way he want to love on us. And he don't understand our emotions, but God being God ain't moved by your emotions. He said, I'm
Yes.
God. I'm going to wait on you. You just go ahead and finish doing what you're doing. Go ahead and get out your feelings. And when you get out your feelings, come and tell me what you want me to do so I can do it. Because you may tell me in these temporary feelings that you got in this position that ain't permanent for you. So I want to tell all of the viewers tonight. Can you say it one more time for the people? Can you tell them what they need to tell depression?
Depression, you die.
You
And
die
take your poison with you.
and take your poison with you. That's tonight. That's tonight. Depressions is die. And take your poison with you. I love
But
it.
but I'm gonna go one further. I'm gonna go one further. Not only depression, disease, you die. Doubt,
Everything.
you die.
Come on.
Hurt, you die.
Die.
Abuse, you die.
Die. Oh, yeah.
Take
Come
back
on.
your mind. Take back your strength. Take back your power. Everything that was meant to come up against you, you die. And we
Die.
not we not having a funeral. We having a celebration of life. Why? Because the life continues to go on after these
Yes.
things are dead and gone. Whoo, glory
Yes.
to God.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. To whom the Son set free is truly
True.
free indeed. I want to thank you. I want to
Thank
thank you for
you.
keeping your word and accepting the invitation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your talent. Thank you for being true to who you are. And thank you for being transparent, Cinnamon Soul. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. We need
No.
more sisters like you. And I want to I know you single and everything, but it won't be for long. But I just think that after we go through all of that stuff and we free ourselves, then we're able to, because we love who we are, we're able to
Absolutely.
love. We able to love him.
We love him. And see, that's the thing. We have to know how to love ourselves.
That's
And
right.
that's a journey in itself.
Yep.
That is a journey in itself. The one
That
that
is
you
so true. We have to love our children. We have to love the people that we come in contact with. There ain't no limitations on it. Love has no address, just the same as all of this other stuff that we have to deal with on a daily basis. This has been, oh, for me, this has been really, really, really good for me. Um, just to know that you overcame.
yeah.
You overcame. You
Yeah.
understand? And you looking good. Looking
Feeling
over there
good.
like you looking, yes, you looking good.
Thank
And
you.
you got these books, y'all. She done wrote not just one, but two. Two of them. Two books. People. And I love it. The Battle of My Life and a dash of cinnamon. You
Yes.
can't beat that. Come on, Flavor. Come on, Flavor. Is there anywhere that you're gonna be? Anything that you're looking forward to? Any upcoming? Because we're almost out of time. Are there any upcoming events that you're gonna be in, or are you working on any projects right now?
Actually, what I'm working on right now is out of the story that of what I just went through comes another book. God gave me an idea for the book, so I'm
Okay.
getting ready to start a fictional series.
Okay. Okay.
And it's going to be about what I went through, but it's going to actually be a series. It's going to be a couple of books, and I'm
Okay.
working on my autobiography. So those are the works that I'm working on. As far as performing, I don't have anything scheduled yet,
Okay.
but I will be. I'm looking to schedule some things in the summer. So
Okay.
Cinnamon Soul IG on Facebook, y'all just hit me up, and I'll let y'all know what I'm doing.
Go follow Cinnamon Soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Cinnamon Soul. Her name is Vatrina Sterling. She's out there in the social world. Thank you for being my guest tonight. I will have you back. Okay.
Thank you.
On yes, indeed. On next week, you guys, let me say this. The girls are coming back. You've seen them before. With the pretty peer pressure girls. They were the Anderson girls. They are coming back. Can you hear me? Yes, loud and clear. We are going to introduce them. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all, don't y'all go nowhere. Y'all better stay tuned and keep coming back. We are so excited for this next show that's coming. Thank y'all for the love. Thank you for the likes and the comments and share. Go find Cinema Soul. Don't you let it go. Okay, let me get out the porch with that. Y'all have a good night. Smooches to you all. I look forward to seeing y'all. Until next time, this is Women Around the Talk. Oh, crunch. Women Around the Table Talk Show. That's my own name up.
Kiki White and EFI Networks, thank you for watching the Women Around Table Talk. We hope that you have enjoyed. We would like to thank all of our special guests. Kiki White and EFI Networks look forward to you joining the Women Around the Table talk every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Kiki White look forward to hearing from you. Please go to efinetwork.com for comments. You may call 832-408-8404, 346-493-2630 or 832-391-0157. All copyrights belong to EFI Networks.